Alright guys, today we're going to look at applying the law of sines. The law of sines. What it's used for is to solve triangles that aren't right, because obviously with right triangles we solve using TOA, but if it's not a right triangle, law of sines is a great way to go. And what the law of sines says is, hopefully you saw some of this in geometry or the whole thing in geometry, but basically says you can do a couple things. You can, as long as you have opposite sides and angles, if you have sine of A, you can put over side A, and that's always going to equal the sine of angle B over side B, which also equals the sine of angle C over side C. Or you can flip it the other way, it doesn't really matter. For a triangle it looks like that, one that's not right. Meaning not a right angle, not that it's not right. Okay, this one says solve triangle ABC, where angle B is 34, C is 100, B is 8. And when it says solve triangle ABC, it means find everything. It may not be a bad idea to draw that triangle. Angle C is obtuse, it's 100 degrees. Angle B, doesn't matter where you put it, 34 degrees. Angle A is up here, and what am I looking for? B is 8, little b is 8. Okay, so the key here is I know both of those. I know both angle B and side B. So I'm going to use those. I'm going to say sine of angle B, except I knew angle B is 34, sorry about that, is 34 degrees over side B, which is 8, and that's going to equal the sine of angle C, which is 100, I about wrote C again, over little c, which is going to be right up there, which is one of the things I need to find. Now to solve this, all I'm going to do is I'm going to cross multiply, so I get C times sine 34 degrees equals 8 times sine 100, which is 100 degrees, sorry, 8 times sine of 100 degrees, which is 7.878. And to finish up, I'm just going to divide both sides by sine of 34 degrees. So I'm dividing by sine 34 degrees to get that final answer, and I get 14.1 for side C. So that side right there is 14.1, which makes sense in that it should be bigger than side B because it's opposite a bigger angle. Probably one thing I should have done first, now that I'm thinking about it, I know angle A already because I know the other two angles. Remember, all three angles in the triangle add up to be 180. So if you subtract 34 and 100 from 180, it leaves you with 46 degrees. So angle A is 46 degrees. All that leaves us left to find is side A. So I'm going to use what I started with. I'm going to do the sine 34 again. Sine 34 degrees over 8 equals sine of A, which is 46 degrees over little a. Now I'm going to do the same steps I did last time, but just really quickly. Here's the shortcut to getting your answers really fast. I'm going to multiply this way. I'm going to do 8 times sine 46 degrees. And then because that angle would be with the A, I'm just going to go ahead and divide that answer by sine 34 degrees. And I get 10.3. And there's my side A, which also makes sense because it's opposite 46, which is bigger than 34, but not quite as big as 100. So my three answers I was looking for, big A, and little c. There you go. We'll show you two more here because there's a couple weird cases, and this is one of them. Again, I'm lucky because I have these two, right? So this time angle A is obtuse, like this is angle A, it's 115 degrees. Side A is 20, which is opposite angle A. B is 11, I'm going to say big B is down here, which means that's 11, it's little b. I don't know big C or little c, so it doesn't look like I know quite as much, but I really do. So I'm looking for these. I'm looking for capital B, angle B, capital C, angle C, and little c, which is side C. So we need to find angle B first because that's what I know right now, and I know all of A. So I'm going to say sine of 115 degrees over 20 equals sine of angle B, which I don't know, over 11. Okay, this is a little bit different case because I'm looking for an angle this time. Still going to cross multiply. 11 times sine of 115, which is 9.7. So I get 9.7 equals 20 times sine B. Now, just like I did last time, I'm going to divide by 20. 9.7 divided by 20. And I get sine B equals 0.485. Now, because I don't know the angle, anytime you're looking for the angle, you have to do inverse sine. On your calculator, that's second sine. Anytime you don't know the angle, it's second sine or inverse sine of 0.485. Hit enter. And I'm rounding this, 29 degrees is my B, big B. Now, the great thing about finding that angle is now I can find angle C just by subtracting the other two from 180. So I'm going 180 minus 29 minus 115, and I'm getting 36. So big C is 36 degrees. All right, one more. Got to find little c. But now that I've got big C or angle C, it's going to be pretty easy. So I'm going to say what I started with a minute ago. I'm going this one again. Sine 115 over 20 equals sine 36 over side C. And here I go. I'm just going to cross multiply this way. 20 times sine 36. And then I'm going to divide by, be careful here, divide by sine 115. So I'm dividing by sine 115, and it gives me 12, well, really 13, 12.97. So I'm going to go with 13 right there, and the answer makes sense with what the rest of them should have been. Okay, so same kind of steps over and over again. This one was different because you had to find an angle first. I wanted to show you one where you had to find an angle to just remind you you have to use your inverse sine or second sine on your calculator. All right, one last thing here. There are times when you're going to get a no solution case. And that's what it says up on top in green. And the problem will look normal to you, like it's going to go ahead and write it out like this. You may start your law of sines and you may start going. But what's going to happen is one of the sides, or the side opposite angle A here, is not as big as the height, which means there is no way, because the height goes straight down. So there's no way that side going at an angle is going to hit this third side or touch that third side. It's not going to happen. So what's going to happen, I'm not going to take the time, I'm just going to say keep your video short here, but if we were to start punching all this in the calculator and trying to find out all the stuff that we're missing or try to solve that triangle, your calculator is going to give you an error message. And obviously, if your calculator gives you an error message, you'll probably say domain issue or something like that, which means there's no solution. Okay, so don't fret if you see that. And we'll work on some in class tomorrow, obviously, and look forward to seeing you. See you tomorrow.